Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Osakhuenorkhodin watch the interview wey Obaseki do yesterday with Albert Obazee. He don't come today. Come analyze the things wey Obaseki talk for that interview. Make I leave you make you hear from Osakhuenorkhodin.
If you listen to the governor, the former governor of Edo State, he also said that they now said, let us organize a trusteeship so as to show them transparency, because he wants us, the Westerners, to actually know that we are united as one for the purpose, because he does not want those Westerners to come up with an idea that will say, okay, since these people are disunited, we cannot actually discuss with them. Now he now said, let us create a trusteeship, a sincere trusteeship. On his part, the federal government was allowed to nominate. Edo State government was allowed to nominate. But when it got to that of the palace, a letter was written and nominated on behalf of the palace. And I want to ask, do you think the Oba of Benin will send his son to be an ambassador of that particular event? You do not need to think for the Oba. The Oba ought to have been given the opportunity to as well nominate. You cannot come and say, Oba Tokpe, he said, I have nominated for you. And the son went to the Oba. You expect the Oba to tell his son, go, I don't want you to be there. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. This is your brother, your friend, Comrade Stanley Osakhuenorkhodin. I want to say a very big, beautiful good morning to ever conscious Edo people worldwide. From the east to south, north to west, from wherever you're watching me from, I remain my humble self, your noble right activist, Comrade Stanley Osakhuenorkhodin, the Coordinator General Edo Diaspora Connect Worldwide, the CEO Stanley Sadi Enterprise. In fact, the CEO of Oman, Edo State. I always try as much as possible to avoid issues that borders on public concern, specifically coming from the dimension of the previous governor of Edo State, His Excellency H.E. Governor Obaseki. Because I also agree to the fact that our people are beclouded by emotions rather than the key factors. But I want to state very, very clearly before I continue this broadcast. My analysis is going to be very fair. It's going to be based on sincerity and fairness. It is not designed in any way to attack or to downplay the integrity of anyone. I'm not also here to attack the former governor of Edo State, but rather to actually set the matter straight the way it ought to be. Whether we like it or not, even whether I like it or not, His Excellency, the former governor of Edo State, was my boss and still remain my boss. But I should be able to tell my boss the truth and also nothing but the truth. It was an eloquent speech yesterday, a very beautiful speech at that. But believe you me, it was not all encompassing. When I use this statement, so many individuals may be angry at me, but I know in the course of the analysis, you will subscribe to the point. Now, first, no single Edo man or woman that is against prosperity, development, that will skyrocket the people of Edo State from the realm of subjectivity down to the realm of objectivity. We needed to say the fact at all times. What we want is progressive development. But in the course of this progressive development, we must, as a matter of urgency, agree to the key factor that will not just better the lives of the bourgeoisie, also the life of the downtrodden. Looking at the speech in general, you can't take eloquency away from His Excellency, the former governor of Edo State. He's good at that. But the core issues that border on public concern were not addressed. That's a fact. There are key questions thrown to him by the moderator that he immediately avoided. And I'm going to identify some of these. Now, look at the controversy. First, nobody on earth have an intention of restricting MOA. It has come to stay, and they must follow stricto sensu to ensure that it betters the life of Edo people. And that is where we are having some skirmishes that we needed to address. One, to some of us, we believe that this is a calculated attempt to wipe out the historical 1897 invasion of the then Benin Empire. And what metamorphosed into using Edo as an hallmark to build a beautiful edifice such as that. Any government who attracted such development into a society must be praised. But in the same vein, while praising the government, look at the overall interest and collective destiny of the people. To us, what attracted the EU, any other countries that are involved in this, is because of the historical antecedent of the great people of the then Benin Empire. This activity of 1897 existed even before the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914 by Lord Lugard, which simply means that Nigeria in itself is an infant as far as this issue is concerned. Of a fact, the state has the right whatsoever to enter a pact with foreign governments. The federal government has the right to also enter a pact with foreign government. But as of today, we are not operating a monarchical system of government. Hence, the need for the traditional institution to pass through the state down to the federal to reach out to the collective destiny and secure the interest of our people. Now we ask, is there a calculated attempt to wipe that out of the system? 1897 invasion? Because in line with the statement, made by the former governor of Edo State, intelligent people can deduce so many facts. But now, I will start. At what point did the name and the agreement changed? Because what is creating this upheaval is not the development itself. Nobody will say they are against MOA. Let me tell you, if the real skirmishes, the core issues is addressed, and anybody is coming out in the name of traditional institution or in the name of conventional governance to prevent what is going to happen there, we will all turn against those persons who wants to prevent development. But there are issues that we must also look into. Now, how did this came to be? I always use the word the lobbyist group, who were part and parcel of the negotiation process. The lobbyist group, who were part and parcel of the negotiation process. In the course of the intervention of this lobbyist group, we continue to have results. And this does not start even within the dispensation of His Excellency, the former governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, or His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Nedo Ugwakbolokbolo Obaewari II. The fight and agitation to ensure the return of this artifact has been on ground before the advent of either the current monarchical, currently operating in Edo State or Benin City, as the case may be today, and also the previous administration before the advent of this recent administration. Our Oba during his reign, Oba Erebiawa, Oba Kenzwa, all has been doing everything within their power to ensure that this material gets back to us. And that is what is tied to the history that we have today. And that was what led or culminated to having an idea of building a MOA or building the Benin Royal Museum that will house these current ancient monuments. Now, all continue to move. You have the Benin Royal Court, the law-based group that comprises of all other museums around the world. And part of the agreement, in fact, the British government as of today is part of it, which is hosting large chunk of this artifact. But they actually refused to be part of it when Eldorado was coming in the course of the negotiation. What then changed? That's the question. Now the advent of the Obaseki administration came into being. And in 2018, the governor of Obaseki came and met with the traditional institution in Edo State. The videos are there. Everyone is aware. He said, as part of our artifact-related activity, we are building the Benin Royal Museum. Not at the discretion of the governor now, quote and unquote, but as a directive issued as a means to secure these traditional artifacts. The Benin Royal Court was part of the negotiation. The lobbyist group was part of the negotiation. Members of the Ministry of Art and Culture at the federal level was also part of the final part of it, after the job must have been done by the lobbyist group. Now, is there any way the traditional institution can sign a pact with any of these countries when you actually know that we are no longer operating a monarchical system of government? Now they agreed. The governor came to Edo State and told the Oba of Benin, during the birthday of the Oba of Benin, as the case may be, said, this is a Greek gift to you, Your Majesty. We have agreed to build this within the space of 3 years. Now, everybody clapped, enjoyed merriment, and said, oh, that's a welcome development. Let's also agree that there are room for afterthoughts. From the agreement of the Benin Royal Museum now to the EMOA. And if you listen to the governor yesterday, he said he doesn't care whether the name is this or that, but what he wants is let the development come into being. Fine! That is part of the agitation that has been addressed. But now, what is the benefit accruing to both the traditional institution and the state, considering the fact that this infrastructure has its bearing on the 1897 invasion of the then Benin Empire. Now, at the end of the day, there was a dramatic twist in the nomenclature. And as a sitting administration, it is your responsibility, since you have coordinated the activity, it is your responsibility to know the reason why they are digressing from the Benin Royal Museum to a MOA, now to MOA. What is the brain behind it? If actually those who are changing the name have no intention, negative or positive, why are they worried about the nomenclature? Why are they worried about the name? If the name change is not harmful, it's not inimical to the collective interest and destiny of the people of Edo State. Why are we all worried about the name change? It's not a bad idea if the Europeans, the Edo State government, the Oba of Benin, and all agree based on the 1897 invasion and the historical antecedent tide that accumulated into the Mowa Benin Royal Museum. Why didn't we allow it to be the way it ought to be? What is the brain behind the change? That is one. And again, the governor of Edo State in 2019 also came out, reiterated that commitment in Government House when he received members who happens to be the lobbyist group, including the Royal Court, in Government House. And we ask, why the dramatic twist in the name? And when he was asked about the name, he said he doesn't care about the nomenclature, regardless. But let me tell you, as an intelligent individuals, though we have so many intelligent persons, let me tell you the meaning of that. Since there is change in names, believe you me, it is also change of interest. And you cannot tell us as a governor, as at that time, who holds our interest in trust to say you don't care about what happens in terms of the nomenclature. Now, if it is leaving Benin Royal Museum and you are not extending it to the Nigerian state or to the West Africa, what is the stake of each and individual involved? And what is the stake of those who actually have the historical antecedent of 1897? It must be broad-based and it must be made known to members of the public. By the grace of God Almighty, I am not here to play politics. I'm not here to be against any individual, but my responsibility, you will not tell me that you are even closer to Obaseki than I. But my responsibility right now is for us to say the truth at all time. It is all about you. It is all about your interest. That is why we needed to know. And that issue was not addressed. And for a fact, I may post many of these details in 2019 when it was reiterated. Now, we are still asking, why the change and what is the reason behind those change, and including the European unions and all who are involved in this. Why didn't we just allow you to say, okay, Benin Royal Museum? If that name has nothing, the change in name has nothing to do. And in fact, you call it this, you call it that. Let's simply leave it so that we understand the stake. Now, the second part of it, if you listen to the governor, the former governor of Edo State, he also said that they now said, let us organize a trusteeship so as to show them transparency, because he wants us, the Westerners, to actually know that we are united as one for the purpose, because he does not want those Westerners to come up with an idea that will say, okay, since these people are disunited, we cannot actually discuss with them. Now, he now said, let us create a trusteeship, a sincere trusteeship. On his part, the federal government was allowed to nominate. The Edo State government was allowed to nominate. But when it got to that of the palace, a letter was written and nominated on behalf of the palace. And I want to ask, do you think the Oba of Benin will send his son to be an ambassador of that particular event? You do not need to think for the Oba. The Oba ought to have been given the opportunity to as well nominate. You cannot come and say, Oba Tokwe, he said, I have nominated for you. And the son went to the Oba. You expect the Oba to tell his son, go, I don't want you to be there. These are areas federal government was freely allowed to nominate. Edo State government was free to allow to nominate. But when it got to the time for the nomination of the palace, the government of Edo State nominated on behalf of the palace a trustee that will represent the palace. Can you think? Can you actually think? Look at it very critically. Please share this video. Share this video. Look at it very critically. At least we are intelligent people. Fluency, being very okay in the use of word, is not the basis right now. You can't take that away from Obaseki. And you cannot also take away development or a governor that has performed tremendously well. You can't take it away from him. But when those performances are not giving room for suspicion in terms of the collective interest and destiny of the people, Some of us, I was making comment. I also said in those videos, in the video yesterday, I was making comment. I knew beforehand, because I made a post before then. I said, there is no way they will open the phone. There is no way the phone will be opened for members of the public to submit their opinion. No way. If they had opened the phone, Osakhuenorkhodin would have called and also pledged my unalloyed loyalty to the former governor of Edo State. While pledging that loyalty, I will ask him key questions that borders of public concern. Hence, nobody is against the oppression of the beautiful Moa. But believe you me, the only reason why you are seeing some of us and you continue to value us is because of where we are from. This is where the king is truly a king. And we will do everything humanly possible to protect the history, the 1897 invasion. Because believe you me, no matter how the British loves you, they will never hear you talk about the invasion of the 1897. The British, no matter the love, all they want, if they have the capacity whatsoever to erase it from the hearts and mind of the people of Edo State, the great people of Benin Empire. Also get it, when we say Benin Empire, it cut across the entire Edo State. An Eshan man is a Benin man. An Afema man is a Benin man. Go and check. An Esan man was a chief in the Benin palace. Esan was his name. So there is no way you can separate these persons in Edo State up to Okwila, because we are all more or less like a Siamese twin. So the reason why you are okay today is because of your value system. And we'll continue to ask this salient question. Why the change in nomenclature? That's the name. And why are they worried to change the name? If the goal is to build a museum to actually sustain the old legacy and the information. Because let me tell you, the British refused to involve when there was an accord, an agreement in Netherlands. But when Ajayi and associates got involved, for the only way the British can be involved is for us to silence the 1897 and make it a more West African. Make it a more West African act. So in this case, you must not be emphasizing on what truly created, quote unquote, the upheaval, the issues that borders on public concern. Now, it's a clear attempt to remove the history of 1897. That is the only condition the British will be very okay in involving in this. Now, why are they worried about the name? Because I will also advise the government of Edo State, it is now time to introduce history into our primary schools. I don't care about the tertiary, primary and secondary, teach them their history. Let them emphasize on the 1897. It is part of us, and it should be the core paraphernalia of the curriculum designed for our students and pupils in schools. I'm not here to attack Governor Obaseki. I will not, but I'm here to say the truth, and I'm also here to identify, even if he is not aware, these are areas he's supposed to look into. Now, what also generated the upheaval? The development is sincere. Now we have, you nominated a trusteeship on behalf of the palace, and a letter was given, and the palace agreed. The palace was not given free hand to nominate theirs. Why do we need to speak on behalf of the palace? The same way federal government was allowed free will. The same way state government was allowed free will. Why did the palace have or enjoyed the same right, free will, to also nominate? Do you think that if the Oba of Benin wants to nominate, he will go and nominate his own son? So to some of us, we actually believe that nominating his son was like, we carried you along. But we know that if we do not nominate your son and we allow you to do your nomination, there are areas you must emphasize. But also very clear, you will agree to the fact that the Oba must emphasize on securing his own history, because that is why he's called the Oba of Benin. If that is wiped out from the scheme of things, you don't need an Oba anymore. So as a traditional institution, he reserved the right whatsoever to lock that part and to make sure that that it is secure in any negotiation whatsoever. But in this case, he was also prevented. Now, let me tell you what aggravated the entire situation. And also, get it very clearly, no individual whatsoever will run away from what rightfully belongs to them. Look at what degenerated into the second segment. Why we continue to negotiate? Then the government of Edo State, who was never aware, the government was aware, but the administration of Okpebolo, who was never aware, said, there are conflicting situations the way it is right now, because whether you like it or not, it was almost degenerating into a state of comatose or turmoil. Now the government said, all parties should wait, let us carry out thorough investigation. This is also against the backdrop of the fact that the Edo State Assembly is already carrying out proper investigation. But in this case, on a Sunday morning, everyone was sleeping. Some who did rigorous and laborious jobs designed on Sunday to rest, while some were in church. As early as 7:38 a.m., some persons, including diplomats, went through the back door into the MOA premises. Now, it is not a bad idea to actually celebrate it on a Sunday. After all, it gives everybody the opportunity to be available, owing to the fact that a civil servant may not have the time to be at MOA or Benin Royal Museum or in MOA, as the case may be, on Monday, when he's charged with the responsibility to address the civil service activities. Or the Saturday, on a Sunday, is very okay. But in this case of MOA, a beautiful edifice such as that, a world-class infrastructure, requires a robust communications to members of the public. It is our own. It is your own. This is your history. Come and be part of the celebration. No formal announcement. The traditional institution were not also called upon to be part and parcel of the process. Let's agree that Edo people are still angry with the government of Edo State. But protocols also demands that when you are bringing diplomats such as that into the states, they needed to be secured in all ramification, considering the volatile security situation in Nigeria, both in Northeast, Northwest, South, Southeast, and Edo State. So it is not peculiar to a particular part. So ordinarily, you needed to ensure absolute security. I want to ask, does the former governor or members of MOA has the capacity whatsoever to actually secure the diplomat outside the commissioner of police of Edo State, outside the military chiefs in Edo State, outside the DSS of Edo State, outside from every security agency that is expedient to ensure the security? Can the former governor actually secure them? Can MOA on their own actually secure them? Now you brought them into the system without notifying these institutions. Then, few minutes after, videos started coming out online that MOA is under commissioning. And you saw some person celebrating. We tell now say we go do one. What is the secret of we tell now say we go do one? That is to say, it is a clear calculated attempt. It is a clear calculated attempt to instigate others against that particular infrastructure. Now you will be surprised, and as an average Benin man, you saw some person saying "Tamo mogi mareo, tamo mogi mareo" on Facebook. On Facebook. Now, those of you who actually went to school, the sciences will always say, in any action, there is always an opposite reaction. Now, you have taken an action. Some person said, why didn't they go to court to stop it? And I'll ask some of them, if those one didn't go to court to violate the decision reached by the Edo State government, and they went ahead to go and open, to commence that process, no court also prevented people from going there to stop you from doing it. It is purely illegality on both parts. So we should not claim legality on our part and we say the other one is illegal. Both who went in contrary or who refuses to inform the authorities, contravened. And those who also went to go and stop you also contravened. But believe you me, every individual has a right whatsoever to secure their interest and to make sure that the issues that borders on public concern is properly addressed. Now, I've asked a series of questions, including at what time did the name change? What is the interest of those who wants to change the name? What are their interests? We needed to know. And also, if the federal government has a free will to nominate, the state government has a free will to nominate, why did we also nominate on behalf of the palace? Why didn't we allow the palace to nominate on their part? Whether we like it or not, the Crown Prince is a great man of inestimable value. He's an intelligent young man, but there are issues he may never be aware of now. There are some traditions of the Benin Empire that he's not aware of now. He will be taught when he becomes the Daiken Uselu. So how do you expect him to actually stand and defend the collective interest and destiny for our people? With due respect to my Crown Prince, because tomorrow the Crown Prince is going to assume the position as also the Oba of Benin. But for now, we have a reigning Oba. We have a reigning Oba. The Crown Prince must wait for the reigning Oba to conclude his own. In fact, I'm not supposed to discuss about this as a Benin man. So, if peradventure, we are not nominating on behalf of the palace, think. So, even if that edifice is very okay, but the shady deals surrounding it borders on public concern, and I will be very factual in saying this: no Westerner will invest without thinking of profit maximization. Now, somebody said, how do you think a land in a dome worth 11 billion? Have you been to Moa? Just a little. In fact, Moa can accommodate the size of Ogbe Stadium. And he said, that land will not worth 11 billion in cash. Now, in physical assets, the former governor actually said, we must support private investors. It is true. If a company is coming to Edo State today and they needed to develop, and by the grace of God Almighty, we in Igbomo community, we make available land for the government, for the company to come into play. But believe you me, the company must have what we call corporate social responsibility that they owe to the host community. Now, we are still asking, this infrastructure comes in. Where is the benefit of Edo people? We want it to be broad-based. Agreed. Benin Royal is doing it is all encompassing. Africa must always be part of the process. After all, our foreign policy till tomorrow, Africa is the centerpiece. Africa is the centerpiece of our unity, as the case may be. That's the foreign policy of Nigeria. I know we needed to change that because the role of the BRIC border is actually affected. But that is not the core part of our discussion. Let's continue to consolidate on what we've been discussing as far as Edo is concerned. So these are things we need to really look. And believe you me, the governor is, with all due respect to him, the former governor of Edo State, he actually discussed extensively, but the key areas, he dodged them. And we were paying a rapt attention, undivided attention, identifying those key areas, because I, for one, you will not expect to Osakhuenorkhodin by the grace of God. I cannot go to somewhere and begin to say, no, that's not team. I will never do that. But there are ways we will stand our ground to the last minute to make sure that what rightfully belongs to us remain for us. Edo people, this is not about having issues with the former governor of Edo State. No. I can also come to say that MOA is bad. I cannot come to say that the education hub is bad. I cannot also come to say that those key infrastructure built are bad. But there are key infrastructure that are giving us problem in Edo State, and we needed to really know the brain behind it. One, this is the Radisson Hotel. Two, the Osakhuenorkhodin power plant. Three, the Benin Royal Museum. These are the core issues. Every other issues and development. I don't have issues with the Stella Obaseki Hospital that was built by Lucky Benedium. And also, if you go there, you see the kind of edifice Obaseki also built there. By the grace of God Almighty, there was a day I made a post about specialist hospital. I said we must salute to Somole for that, because we actually took somebody to that hospital. Look at the attention. Imagine, in fact, my reputation changed, because there are some humans that ought not to have died, but because they lack the resources whatsoever, they will just die for a little image. We took somebody to specialist hospital. Let me use the word. The person almost be Golaye. As I speak with you, we have discharged the person. We have discharged the person. The person is recouping right now. You can imagine the way this. Look at the young doctors, man. Now there are no say Benin people to go school. My perception don't change. A Benin doctor within that specialist hospital, my brother. Some of them, 35, 40, 35, 40, 45, 35. I not see your one as young guys, see brains. They can engage in surgical operations and also get results. In fact, with all due respect, that state hospital, to me, even if UBT has a name, those specialists defeated UBTH from me, because from the experience that I've gathered, those specialist hospital defeated UBTH. So these are infrastructure. And again, in a bid to justify state resources expended without knowing what is at stake in it, the former governor of Edo State also said that they donated billions to UBTH. Now, it is not the same at all. It is not the same. These are two different case scenarios. Now, the UBTH is cited here. Those who visit UBTH, it's not Tinubu. In fact, every state have their federal hospitals. So if there is an intervention from a state government, considering the fact that as of today, the CMD is also from the Benin extraction, Mrs. Idia Izeyam, you expect that hospital not to be built for the overall interest of Edo people? Or is that the same reason why we have a bad federal roads? Instead of us to fix it because we know that it is a federal road, we now begin to establish signposts on this road. Say, please bear with us. These are federal roads. Is it Tinubu that applying those roads? So, like this, the UBTH, any intervention by the state government should be welcome, because those who actually benefit it are the people of Edo State. We have the Otiwoka, also especially a federal hospital. If there is other intervention that is needed, most especially when the Lassa fever was ravaging the people of Edo State, you expect the government not to intervene in supporting the hospital to put an end to the bubonic plague, because the Lassa fever is the same bubonic plague that happened in 1920 that almost finished all the Britons in Nigeria. The Lassa fever came in 1920s. As of today, it's called Lassa fever. It was known as then as the bubonic plague. Go and Google it. So these are key issues we need to look into. Now, in my course of analysis, in a big book I carry, I write them down. Now, I'll go to the second segment. Now, when the former governor was asked, why is the palace acting as if they are angry with you? On this, I will salute you, His Excellency, the former governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki. Your reply was very, very intelligent. I will not drag that, because believe you me, so many persons were actually waiting to identify the collision and the disagreement between you and the palace, and you immediately dodge that. And I will not force you to answer that, because I will not also want you to fall into trouble. So I salute that intelligent actions, and I commend you in respect to that, because whether we like it or not, there are things that are already at public disposal. Because to some persons, the empowerment of the Inigis that was more or less serving as rebellion, they believe that your actions towards it was geared towards this same Muwa artifact or whatsoever. Hence, they need to ensure that even if this institution, who is supposed to be in charge, is not in agreement, we'll make sure that the sub-branches are part of us. So to some persons, they believe it was a calculated attempt, and you did your best to actually dodge that. And who truly like you or love you as a person will not also expect you to answer such questions, because it was really a trap. Despite the fact that the moderator is still a recalcitrant, I also salute him, because there are some key questions that the moderators was really passing across. And even if the ones we are dodged, but at least, even if we also know that the moderator is a recalcitrant, but he actually was direct in those regards. So, I think now, this is a case of, hey, we don't build a Mona take, leave them, we take your land, give them, yeah, Mona do one, no worry. Mona take a like that, no need to ask. What is the stake of the people of Edo State in this? Federal government nominated, yes, a trustee for the purpose of transparency. It's a welcome development. But also forget that this issue started even before the advent of Nigeria in 1914, or the amalgamation, as the case may be. Now, who gets the profit? Because the museum is going to be revenue generation unit. Considering from 2017, 2018, 2019, your sanction in respect to the agreement reached at Netherlands by the lobbyist group, the Royal Court, and the representative of the federal government, including that of the Edo State government. And so many Edo persons were also part of this. So, when they have agreed that they are going to build a Benin Royal Museum, in fact, Professor Agbola, who also was part of it, said it very clearly and analyzed the entire situation. Now, who makes the profit? Because it's going to be a revenue generating unit. You are saying now that when this infrastructure is sited on us, on our soil, we provided land, what is the corporate social responsibility? Let's look at it from that dimension. What is the benefit, the impact directly on our economy? Now, according to the former governor of Edo State, he said people come in. When they come, they will buy something, they will spend more money, they will do directly from the artisans will get their own. Yes, it will impact on the economy overall. But now the question is, how will Edo people benefit directly from the initial revenue generated from the Muwa itself, not the amount of money spent within the economy? What is our stake, considering the fact that we were the major reason behind this? Because what cumulated to all of this did not even start under the dispensation of Governor Obaseki. Series of Oba under their reign engaged in this to ensure that this history returns to us. Then why the sudden change? Why are we not taking it out? In Museum of West African Art, from Benin Royal Museum to Edo Museum of West African Art. Now, why did we choose to remove the Benin Royal Museum? Why did we not remove the E again and make it Mowa Museum of West African Art? Where is now, because the core part of the whole discussion was as a result of the artifact, was as a result of the 1897. Let's even leave the artifact out of it. Was as a result of our history. The invasion of the Benin Empire in 1897. Then why are we now doing everything humanly possible to remove from any form of attachment that associated the 1897 with the museum? How do I mean? From Benin Royal Museum, which is all encompassing the 1897 invasion, now wiped out. No, now that's a Mowa Edo Museum of West Africa Art. No, we don't need that. Here, they wipe that again. Now, Museum of West Africa Art. So what are the reasons behind this removal? Is it that the British was pressuring the government of Edo State to elude that from the scheme of things? These are questions that borders of public concern. Intelligent people need to look at this critically. To date, we don't know who benefits directly. Yes, the economy will benefit if even Osakhuenorkhodin, because if MOWA is opened officially today, I may join one of the first to visit them with my family. That is a fact. I'll go and buy something around the MOWA. It will impact on the economy of Edo. Now, there are money I will pay to assess key history of our land. Who gets those money? That is where the question lies. And some persons still believe, even when the governor was asked, who own MOWA? He said, I don't own MOWA. That is a very good one. But you didn't tell us these are the people who own MOWA. You don't own it. Who own MOWA? Yeah, we have trusteeship that will check the transaction, the related and the fine for transparency purpose. Those trusteeship is how do we bring these things to bear? Now, what is the running management system? And who gets that particular amount of money that will be generated from MOWA? That is where the question lies. And as we speak, people think that even the former governor of Edo State has a stake. And when he was asked, he only answered, I don't own MOWA. It is true. You can't own MOWA. But we are talking about who are the key stakeholders getting that money. I want to enter MOWA now. At the gate, they said, Osakhuenorkhodin, each person coming into MOWA is 500, 1,000, 2,000 per person. Who gets that money? If the Britons, Americans, others are coming to check what is happening, because Britons and America is not coming to come and look at Museum of West Africa Act because they love to be in West Africa. In their school, they say, the British then invaded the Benin Empire. Every other persons were captured in Nigeria. Every other persons were captured in Nigeria. But the Benin as a day resisted the British indirect rule. Asoros and others fought in line with Obavura and Obaseki. There was a great war. At the end of the day, they invaded, they actually captured the Omonoba and they took him to Calabar, as the case may be. The Obama will say, yes, we would love to see that. We would love to see that history. We overheard that they built a museum of West Africa art. Let's go. When they get there, are you going to be showing them Chaka the Zulu's empire? You are going to show them the history 1897. Now, where is the stake of those who you are actually promoting their culture? So, my people, not be hatred, though. Not be to speak to do a sweet way. No, these are areas that we must address. Now, your own and my own. We have people who can talk, but the talking is not the issue. The talking is not the issue. The talking is not the issue, or how it is presented is not the issue. The issue is, what are the interests of the stakeholders? Why are they not comfortable with the names? And the former governor of Edo State, they asked him, why are they changing? They say, I don't care about the name. No, you are supposed to care because you are the one who held it in trust for the overall benefit of the people. They can call it this, they can call it that. We already know that it will be difficult to change the name now. So you say you don't care. No, you should care. And let us know if you truly stood for us or against us. I don't own MOWA. Who owns MOWA? We need to know. Then you see some person saying, the British ambassador, the German ambassador, the German this is a sovereign nation. After all, they were the one who actually orchestrated this plan to beat us up and collect what rightfully belongs to us. And is this a reincarnation of the second invasion? And you are saying people cannot talk because they are German ambassadors? What makes you think that they are more superior than us? What makes you think that they are more superior than us because they are white men? Oh, come on. Think with your brain. This is not political issue. This is purely traditional issues that borders on your interest. Now, I want to tell you very clearly, very critically. If you attack Governor Obaseki today, outside this activity, on the ground of saying you say, Obaseki, no work, I will confront you. But you see on this, will say the truth at all times. Now, if there are no cockroaches, nothing to hide, I don't know, I don't care about the name, any name they give it, I'm no longer the governor, fine, if there are no cockroaches. Are you telling me, why would the order to open the place come from a former governor? What is the interest? May this thing start, but may the economy wait a day inside. That is the key issue. Now you are the media shouting, the Omo is close to Moa, not up to a kilometer. He wasn't aware. Then what are we hiding? So these are the questions Governor Obaseki ought to have answered yesterday, and he didn't respond to them. Now, looking at the clear strategy of Obaseki in bringing development, anybody who says that Obaseki does not have brain is a fool. Facebook, sorry for using that word. He has brain. He also knows how to attract positive. You can't take that away from him. But that is beyond what we are talking right now. So some of us still believe that that same intelligence is designed to hoodwink us now in respect to this, because you are supposed to be for us and not against us. Why are they not comfortable with the name? From Benin Royal Museum has agreed in 2018. This is not as if Governor Obaseki lobbied this. Oba Kezo has started, Oba Rediawa has done before Oba Ewari. As the Benin Royal Court, part of the lobbyist group as well, they have secured this agreement. And thank God, under your tutelage, you were the governor of Edo State as a then. You are supposed to be for us. It is also true that government reserves the right whatsoever to support any industry. Are you telling me that Guinness, Nigerian PLC or other company will just come? Why are we calling on Guinness to Fish Road? There must be corporate social responsibility and a development that is almost worth about 70 to 80 million euros. You say it's not important? It's very important. But now, don't tell me people will come and eat, they will not balance the economy. When they come, they are going to sleep in a hotel, they will not balance the economy. It's fine. What we are concerned about, that money where they say they enter, who they receive on, where they go, where you they bomb Afghanistan, Mark Zuckerberg not do this one, where they go. Where that one, everybody they look. That money, that Kalumba, it's not tell me say the state will not send the Kalumba. Where they go? Now, let me also tell you, in this kind of situation, there are people who actually brought huge chunk of money for the investment. They must have their percentage in that money. That one they say they enter. Not be that way they say they enter hotel. Now hotel they give that one. That one eventually build the economy. It's not as if Mowa has his own hotel. No. So it will boost the economy of the state. People will benefit. Hoteliers will lodge. Women with the sell will bring food. Different things where they go. Yes, it will increase the economy. The area now, that money go to the enter. Now, that money where they enter, that money where they generate, who they receive them. In that kind of situation, all parties must also be aware. Excuse me. She goes Alpha. Okay. All parties must also be aware. In terms of percentage 10, Europeans, see you now. Edo State government, see you now. Traditional institution, see you now. When you make that thing public, the thing starts. Everybody know what if they are. Then tomorrow, government go say, nothing that come out for Royal Museum. And those people go tear government apart. Then they go ask our father, say, Baba, you have received for quite some time. So what you don't do now to also build the culture we'll get? Like the Obakenswas and all others. What you don't do now? Because what your body received now reality. But when you bring allocation, come out for Royal Museum, designed for traditional institution, we have the right to also have traditional institution. What are you using this money that you are getting from here for? We want to know, or that they give me, you go chop them. No! Now, let me tell you my stand as far as artifact is concerned. I was never in support, me, Osakhuenorkhodin. I was never in support that you should go and keep it inside the palace. I was in support of displaying it for more revenue generation. Nobody on earth that would not want to see the real Benin artifact, the Okuko, and others. So when you have that in display, it will also serve the interest of the government, it will serve the interest of the traditional institution, it will also serve the history of Edo State, and also serve members of the public. As at now, the former governor only told us that it will better the economy around. We will salute that. We will welcome that. That money will take the enter. That generation where we both take on, they are going to pay in dollars. They are going to pay in pounds, or they are going to pay in euro, or they are going to change to Nigerian money. Any amount as foreign investor, as they come visit, they want to know. How then take the arranger? What will be the stake of Edo State? It will be no answer. No answer. That is where we are emphasizing on. Don't tell me, say, so that is where Edo people are saying, men get what they had. Now that one. And again, the wrong part of it is, when they want to do the semi-commissioning, because they say, when they want to do the semi-commissioning, they say not be official. Let's agree. Who is truly supposed to emphasize on who we are? Is it an Igbo man? With all due respect to the Igbo nation, I'm not against you. No Igbo man would tolerate a museum such as that in Igbo based on their history. And a Benin man will now come, will say, when they came, they first of all met Mr. Chibindu outside. Mr. Chibindu was, Igbo, are you telling us our culture? Come up and sit down. They will stop you. Who is supposed to tell the world about us? Who is supposed to tell the world about us? Is it supposed to be an Igbo man? Or a traditional Benin man that is supposed to explain about us to those who are alien to this information? That's another wrongdoing. For those who have refused to agree because of shared emotions and sentiment, so be it. But this is a fact. And I think that broadcast also did not address the issue. And why the rush in opening one of the best infrastructure ever attracted? Now again, if we go by that, that is to say the work and effort of Obakensua, the work and effort of Oba Irediawa during their reign amounts to nothing. Because Obakensua did not consider a Muwa, even a Muwa safe during the fight. Return this artifact, and the people say, we no feel live. We go build something on your behalf. We will take put and make for secure. This thing value, we value, and we don't want to give on a back because now on our own. If at the end of the day, the UT can't just digress once, that's to say those reigns and their efforts amounts to nothing. I think as an Edo man or woman, we must look critically. We must not use sentiment. Don't hate me for telling you the truth. I was an activist before I became a politician. And I regretted ever engaging in party politics. I should be supporting candidate by now. So I should be able to say the truth at all times. Nemo Judas in Kasaswa, no man shall be a judge in his own case. Audi Oteran Paten, we must hear directly from the party first before judging with head. And what led to all of this? The silence. Covert operation. Silence with huge covert operations. And now the former governor has spoken. Key areas that needed to be addressed still not yet addressed. That Kalumba, that phones, that ego, that kudi, who get up? You can't say they not come to sleep, they will build in hotel, the people will not lodge there, they will buy food in the area, this will boost the economy. It's true. That particular money, that ego, because now revenue, that thing, what they will be our own. That is the question. What now? I repeat. We have, let's say, a MOWA, Benin Royal Museum, generates 15 naira. What will be Edo State government money for inside that 15 naira? Considering Edo State government investment as support, because Edo State government is not for the Christmas within that 15 naira. What will be European benefit within that 15 naira? Then if European take their, Edo State government take their, what will the palace own? Then who get the rest? This one not there the board. This one not your day any of this. They just say, no worry, they'll come buy food, they'll lodge, they'll finish, they'll go. What are the money now? Now that's the issue there. Now that's the issue there. Not tell any individual saying they don't like money. Nobody will not like money. Everybody they pretend. Say, it mustn't do all about money. It is all about money. It is all about money. So hey, there is this narrative that they are pushing. That the artifact is with the Oba. What do you call artifact? Till today, we still cast artifact in Igun. The bronze in Igun, till tomorrow, they are there. Now, go and check what you have in Mowa. Let's agree that the name is Mowa. Which one is Isoko culture? Which of any of those things inside the Mowa that is Yoruba culture? Or that is an Igbo culture? For as long as you display everything you display there, depicts the true qualities and trappings of Edo people. You have our artifact there already. Regardless, even if it is the fake one, what makes you think that the one they are casting now is the fake, that the one they casted before is the real one? Because they stole some, now added value to it. And there was still other question that the governor did not respond to, which is, when they were excavating that territory, they found ancient monuments, beautiful one, and the palace sent message to them to secure it. To secure it. That was what led to the fencing of that place. I asked, excuse me please, why did they sack the person who went to go and report to the palace that something was found there? Why did they sack the person? Immediately that revelation was made, they built it up. What are we hiding? What are we hiding? You may hate Osakhuenorkhodin. God knows that what I'm doing right now, what I'm saying right now, I have no correlation with the Edo State government. I have not met Okpebholo once in my life. Till now, I have not met him facially. I'm always seeing him on media. But this is not about him. This is about saying the truth and allow the truth to set us free. Excuse me, please. So the good people of Edo State, nobody on earth is preventing the development. But these key issues we needed to know. These are the key issues. Why the rush to open it? One, when we know that we are resolving issues associated with it. Why will an order to open a beautiful edifice such as that come from a past government? When you are handovering, you also notify the new government. This is Mowa. Now, so if you see the name, why it change you, we change the sitting governor as at then is telling you he doesn't care about the change of name. If you don't care about it, why didn't you just allow the name to be there? You must care about the name. Because from Benin Royal Museum, Britain will say, oh no. If you say Benin Royal Museum, it will still be emphasizing on 1897. No, let's remove it. Okay. Emowa. That Emowa is a Benin name. Emowa. You know what it is? Pandedian, what they do for us. Emowa. Now, the direct meaning again was Edo Museum of West Africa Art. Fine. Yes, Europeans have no negative intention. They came to build it for us to better, and they will still get it again. They want to still make sure that they take custody of that artifact even at your own town, in your own town. They want to make sure that even if they say that artifact in your town, now they will see the control and find your history. Now they bring in the money. No problem, you people go. Why are they now? Why the disagreement to say just remove that E so that Edo will not be part of it anymore? Let it be moved. And you are showing our history in it. Some person are saying the artifact is in the palace. What do you have there? Is it not the history of Edo people? These are the key issues that you needed to ask. So don't ever say don't ever say the artifact is with the upper. What they have there now is not the artifact. These are the Benin bronze that you have there. What makes you think that the artifact, because they stole the former one, now add value to it, it now mean that the other ones are fake? If we don't have oil today in Nigeria and they don't want to depend on themselves, we are going to depend more on culture. We are going to depend more on culture. And you are saying the real artifact we talk about, the only thing not be Benin artifact. What is there? Is it Sokoma culture, or Yoruba culture, or an Igbo culture, or is this Saudi Arabia culture, or let's say in West Africa, is it Ghana culture? Is it Gabon culture? Is it Chad culture? If this is not neo-colonialism, then there is nothing. Believe you me, our people is also assisting this set of people to continue to tie us down. Intelligent people need to ask this question. British not join meeting. Netherlands and others say okay, because those ones are so small, they are France, they return. British not join meeting. When Ajayi and Sons don't push out the Benin lobbyist group, the British can agree to join. What is that? Okay, they bring a no water, will give them, but make it continue like this. And at time to wipe out 1897, and our former governor came out and explained this to us in a very fluent and intelligent way. We say, key question, we forget them. But some of us mark our defense. We make sure say we know what we agitate for. And not get problem with Governor Obaseki in any way. If I get problem with Obaseki, yes, politically I get little problem and it has been resolved. But you see this one, we must say it the way it is. I don't tire to replay all those politics. Where did they tell the bent truth? I don't lie you. We need to say the truth at all time. Let me quickly take some reactions. Okay, they said it's an institute. Okay, good. Not just all Edo alone, good. At what point did the Edo state government join in this whole process? After a conclusion was reached, first meeting in Germany, second meeting in Edo, third meeting in Netherlands. And when they requested the British to be part of it, they refused. And today, the British is part of it. Immediately, Ajayi and Sons got involved. When there was clear intention, the governor also told us publicly. The governor also told us very publicly that they are building a Benin Royal Museum within a space of 3 years. And when there was also change, if there are no selfishness in it, the governor should also come out to say, we have changed, Your Excellency, Your Royal Majesty, we have changed from building a Royal Museum because of this, because of that. I will also agree to the fact that there was negative altercation, disagreement between the governor and the palace. What actually led to that? They asked the question. I also agree that intelligently the governor will not need to go and begin to discuss about the Oba publicly. But it was swept under the carpet. At what is the brain behind the sudden metamorphosis that took place? These are the core parts that we needed to answer. Now, I still remain an Obaseki apologist. That is who I am. But apologist with brain that can think. I cannot be hoodwinked. I cannot be programmed. I'm not an invented personality. I am Osakhuenorkhodin. So this is it. People will lodge, it is fine. People will come from everywhere, it is fine. That money will let the P enter. Now block. Who get the block? Now the return on investment be the matter now. Who get that block? What will be a Edo state government own inside after 14.8 billion? What will be traditional institution own inside after history of 1897 and your history in terms of your tradition? Leave artifact out of it. The recovered one, because what you have there is still an artifact. What is also the benefit of the Europeans who also brought in their money? Let us know this. Let us know this. We have more intelligent people that will also ask intelligent questions. Get it very clearly. By the grace of God, this is my hand. I have no personal bitterness against Obaseki. I swear with my life. I have none. The personal bitterness I have in the past against him is purely political. And why was it even in existence? It's not as if we wanted to attack Obaseki or thereabout. No. You abandon those politically, fine. You choose one out of us, congratulations. But don't come to my face and be rubbing it. Hey, we don't do you, we don't do you. Everybody get where they respond. People like us go respond. So that is purely outside this. This is not born out of hate. It's born out of critical thinking. Let's think. Now I want to round up because we have so many of my clients that have been calling me, and I have some meetings to also attend today in respect to land security, because by the grace of God Almighty, on a daily basis, we'll continue to see how GIS will work, and that is my area of concern. I know they get anything from all these ones to say, I must feed my family, and also let me quickly use this as an opportunity. My client, before I round up, I want to talk to you. I will take the best possible decision that will secure you. You have applied through us, and will do everything humanly possible to ensure that you get your CFO. Get it very, very clearly. We can only play an advisory role to the government of Edo State. His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo. Osakhuenorkhodin Real Estate Enterprise will not in any way fight an administration that will sign our CFO. I just want to be direct. If I have no food or nothing to feed my family tomorrow, none of these commenters that are clapping that will come to say Osakhuenorkhodin will know. So I will take the best decision to secure you who is watching me, who happens to be my client that are giving me job, and to also secure myself. Our business is also our priority. My business has nothing to do with politics, but to also get it clear, I will protect my business, I will protect you, and I will take decisions that will stand to secure your interest. I'm not running a scam organization that I will say, okay, now you don't give me more, but the fact that they say I ain't not one. No. As I speak with you, I'm already dressed. What is the goal? I'm supposed to put on a reflective today. I'm not. Where I'm going now is purely official. Why? To make sure that we get our CFO more and more in bulk. We've seen some signed by the governor of Edo State, but it's not enough. We needed more of this CFO to be out. And for you, who is my client, you have paid money to me to go and apply on your behalf. I have applied. You have not gotten your document, and you say now I should go and begin to serve an administration that have ended and begin to go against the administration that is in the state. I want to be very sincere to you tonight. Please, please and please, I will say the truth and say it, but on my part, I will only play an advisory role. I will not attack because I also have a stake. I won't destroy my stake in it. I will do everything humanly possible to make sure that it works for you and I. I will not also lie to you. The number of jobs we get on a daily basis in the past cannot be compared to what we have today. People are waiting to see results from the previous before they commence. And you will not expect me to destroy a consortium that was built in the past, and we needed to ensure that it continues. For those of you who are our clients, understand me very clearly. You must get your documents back. I have some CFO that have been signed again by this administration. Yes. But we needed it to be fast. And I want to use the opportunity to call on the Edo State government. Now, Edo GIS has been consolidated. Please, Your Excellency, the Attorney, you should saddle the responsibility on the Attorney General of the state to commence immediately the rapid signing of CFO, because it's within your discretion to do that. The governor has the right to delegate an individual to do that. And I must also commend this administration in respect to the upgrade, because before we snap document, now we scan your document. Your document is original with the Edo State government. There are huge inputs going on there, but at least to some extent, for those of you who wants me to become an attack dog, sorry to say with all due respect, I won't. And to my client, don't make the mistake to pressure me to go against your own interest. I cannot stand and begin to slap my own self. And if peradventure documents comes out today in Edo State, be rest assured, Osakhuenorkhodin will be the leading individual to get it. The one signed, how many of them got? I got so many. How many of them got? It is not political, but I know how to make sure I push for my interest. It is not about me alone. It is about you who actually gave us the job. So please and please, do not pressure me. You can see the picture you have behind me. It is still the picture in my profile. It has been there. And what does that picture symbolize? It symbolizes focus determination, and ready to call where necessary the interest of our people and to also secure our collective interest. So please, I am a businessman in this state. I needed to protect you too. So don't tell me to be a problem to my own business. I'm not in abroad. I have no plan to travel out of Nigeria. And in fact, I cannot even travel out from Benin and spend 5 days. I know fit. Because there are some emergency calls that will come in and I needed to address them immediately. Not be 1C of what I get. Not be 2,000. Not be 3,000. And if you see how many I don't give people. And now we have real estate that has been established. By the grace of God Almighty, I am in abroad. I cannot live here now to go and start from square one. And I will not do anything to endanger myself, also the interest of my clients. If you have given me your job, know this and have peace. Your interest is secured. And I will do everything humanly possible to secure your interest. For those who have been trying to reach me and you don't have my phone number, it still remains 070-3610-9939. I repeat, 070-3610-9939. I'm Comrade Stanley Osakhuenorkhodin, by the grace of God, the CFO man Edo State, and the Coordinator General Edo Diaspora Connect Worldwide. I wise you. Person they use me doing you. Person they use me doing you. I wise. I get to do my thing. So any decision I'm taking now is for you, my client. And my business is not political. So let me quickly play it as a wise man that I am. I still remain your noble political fenceman. I will not deviate from that. I'm neither here nor there. I'm at the center, ready to tell you, hey, you, what you did is wrong. You, what you did is right. Go and check the analysis and see and identify anywhere you think I am wrong. Then I'm coming out again to express my major opinion in respect to why we took such stand. Thank you. If you have not shared this video, please share. There's nothing bad if you share it now. Please share so that it can get to the hands of so many persons. But in absence of any other further questions, I need some little question and answer. Or can I open the line for? No. We may not need that. Okay. In absence of any other question, let me round up the video activity. Thank you and bye for now. Osakhuenorkhodin.
Now we don't hear from Osakhuenorkhodin. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.